good? What's fucking popping, y'all? It's your homie ATM.
And it's your boy O.
And we are the Lingo Baby, joined by very special guests. Malik. Bro, it's been like 2.5 seasons of trying to get you on this show.
That's the one.
But we finally came around to it. So, we have the amazing Malik English joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.
You know what I'm saying?
And, can't forget our also amazing guest, Johnny Champagne in the spot, So it's a strong NYU meets SU
kind of link up, yeah.
Crossover episode.
Big crossover episode vibes.
For sure.
For the nights you can't remember, for the people that you won't forget.
It's like shit.
That's from somewhere. Where is that from?
Like a Drake song.
He said, I'm not even gonna lie.
I was thinking it's a movie. Saturday Night Lights type shit. That was the vibe I got from it.
Nah, but with that, big, like you said, crossover event. How did y'all two end up meeting, overall?
There's before we got to school, how schools would have the Facebook page.
Yeah, and shit like that.
Yeah. It was a group meet, for all the black people, I guess.
Mm.
And then
I'm assuming there's not many of y'all.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah,
and
right?
we still talk to at least 60% of the niggas that was in that group meeting.
That's what I'm saying. Most of them was just either watching or not interested. You feel me? So
it'd be like that.
It was a few of the, that's what I'm saying. So we became friends with the few people that was talking. You know what I'm saying? Pretty quickly met up in school and stuff. And I realized he was the only one in that group chat that was in my school
Wait,
department.
So the group chat was I'm sorry, was it predominantly black student group chat?
Yeah, it was all black. NYU as a whole.
Oh, NYU as a whole, not just NYU Tisch.
It
was all black NYU of that year. Coming into freshman year. Yeah.
Right.
But for the music program, it was just me and him in that chat.
Okay.
So I feel the first day I saw him, I was like, yo.
I immediately recognized him from Facebook.
Not Facebook. Is the black community large? Two people in only one program?
In our program, it's probably 8 black people. 8 to 12 maybe.
Out of how many? Relatively?
60 something.
Yeah. Well, I've been here.
Yeah, I've been there literally.
Huh?
Every time all 4 years, it may be 40 out of 300 or some shit like that.
Yeah. They just started bringing black
people. Yeah. There's black teachers now and shit. It's whoa.
Whoa. Y'all
niggas don't, yeah.
Could've fooled me,
Is Clive a black man?
No, hell no. Clive Davis?
The name Clive just a big black
man. A big black man.
This man is old money, bro. White,
lawyer,
yeah, bro. Executive, put Whitney Houston was his whole investment and all that.
What?
Yeah, and Bob Dylan.
Bro, he's
not bad investment.
He has a reputation that precedes him, but that nigga do not care about NYU, bro.
We have never met him, but they make us watch the documentary once a year.
Right?
Gotta wrap this shit up.
They had his picture on the thing or whatever, but I mean, besides give money one time, he has nothing to do with that school. I'm sure.
Yo, I mean, relatable.
Yeah. I was about to say that's pretty relatable. No cap.
But both graduates now. But what are some, moments that you guys remember? Either creating music, developing yourselves musically, at NYU. Was it a good space to flourish young artists, especially in Clive Davis? Y'all both look very
yeah,
I think it was just because there's a lot of like-minded people that's there that just want to work, want to get things done. I wouldn't say that. I would say that the culture of Clive provided a lot of just overlapping with people. You had to work with people on projects. You had to just a lot of collaboration, stuff like that. So I feel that was cool and definitely helped us find the people that we actually fuck with in the music thing, but as far as the overall like sound or whatever, like, or the overall, you know, what was being supported, I feel like, you know, it was a bunch of these, you know, pop white dudes and like producer bros and stuff like that was really getting a lot of the love, I feel like, from Clive. And you know,
what is your take?
College, to piggyback off of that.
Not to piggyback,
but kind of the same. Like, at first I wasn't even gonna go to college originally. Cause I was just like, kind of didn't really see the point.
That's your energy for sure.
But no, for real. But then going there, it's like the number one thing I got really was like the network for me.
Yeah.
Like me and Tap, like a bunch of people that were just like still in my life today, still I work with creatively, and like people I just generally like to have in my circle. Like that was the most important thing I got. Like in terms of the actual music shit, like kind of say I guess I got exposed to a lot of different types of music, which was cool.
For
like,
sure.
Learned some stuff, but after the first 2 years, you kind of just like did your own thing. Like you just showed up for class and you like went home and did what you wanted to do, basically. And I feel like sometimes there would be moments where like, at least for me, I felt like I had to like scare the music I want to make to be in line with what like the Clive thing was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then after a while, it was just like, I really don't care to do that anymore.
Right.
For a fact.
Do y'all feel like, you know, because you talked about how it exposed you to like a lot of different types of music, and like how overall, you know, you just meet a lot of different people who are creating music. Do you think that anything about that particular NYU experience like influenced the music you guys are now making, or like are like continuing to make, aside from like past musical influences who I want to go into like after?
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Cause like I grew up listening to a whole bunch of different music to begin with, but I feel like in Clive I got way more comfortable making different types of music because like I know somebody in this room will fuck with this, so like, I feel like I had to just make like one type of thing or whatever. And it was encouraged to like experiment, honestly.
Okay.
So you could be as experimental as you wanted to, and like that was like not in like a super art hole type of way. It was just like let's not make like super mainstream stuff. But at the same time, that also would annoy me sometimes because like I feel like people love to talk down on like pop or mainstream music, and it's like if this is the most accepted thing, like there's obviously some beauty in it.
Right.
But it's like there's always this push to be like super avant-garde, and it's like
Right. And that was the thing, is just because it's super avant-garde don't mean it's good.
no,
It's
Like
Niggas gonna be niche so bad.
that's what I'm saying.
Literally.
And there's a huge, you know, like it's New York and everybody think they the shit, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a huge, you know, I'm like trying to be this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, that's cool. Like I like stuff that reaches past the surface level a lot of times, but at the same time, you know, I feel like people, you gotta stay grounded and real in something. Or at least my personal, what I enjoy most is just stuff that's really real and like tangible and something that I could like feel and like see, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I did like that Clive, you know, encouraged the experimentation, especially with like the grading system. Well, I don't know.
Is it like a weird like thing? Like
all I'm saying.
Yeah, how do you grade? Like, I'm
how
like,
do you grade
I don't understand how you grade like creativity and art.
So
Like, I
literally, so
like
that was, I feel like, a big thing that made Clive like a good school for people that don't want to go to school.
okay, okay,
Because it was like, if you just show up and do it, like you really just, you get
Like
all the grades.
I remember our first day of like music theory freshman year, like our teacher's like, yo, y'all all got A's, just show up. And like that was it. Like granted I didn't, but like,
you shut up, bro.
it was really like grading wasn't like a crazy thing. Like it really was participation based.
Wow,
Which
okay.
is cool because that it lets you like not base what you're, you know, gonna do on like how much you think the person's gonna like it or anything like that. It's just, you just do it and like, you know, go through the motions, and then everybody got the, like, what I also like, it was very discussion based too. Like you go around the room and everybody would comment on like,
how do you feel
your work or something like that. And that also, first of all, like people say, because, you know, we always joke about how, you know, Clive isn't hard, they don't grade shit, whatever. But like, bro, like bearing your soul like that in front of your classmates that you see all the time, you know, and like listening to them talk to you about like what, you know, this thing you just worked on that you just put your heart into, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because if it was any way other around, I feel like if it was like at any other school, these people will never hear this shit. Like, I'll never share this with you motherfuckers. But like to be in a situation where,
but it's like they might hear it. It's just like someone listen to your music and someone listen to your music with you right next.
With you, it's so different. Because you're just sitting there like
in the most beautiful speakers, loud. You know what I'm saying? No, like they blasting your music right there. You just like, you know, no mix, no matter.
You just did that shit like
making the shit on the way there a lot of
right.
times.
So many times, like. Cause that's when, bro, these kids, bro, we went to the school because we thought it was gonna be what it was, you know what I'm saying, like a summer camp type.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Camp Rock.
Like, still, we still didn't do our work, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody was all like, I feel like that just kind of speaks to the community, just like how it attracts certain type of people,
But you really couldn't show up empty-handed. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I don't have a song to... Like, I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
That's because, like, it really is just such a... Like, what it is more than the teacher, more than anybody else, you're like, damn, I'm showing my peers this. Like, and it's like, I have to impress my peers. Like, I want this person sitting right next to me to like this shit, you know? And that's a different level of, like, just nerves.
Because your teachers always be like, oh, great. Or, like, they'll just, like, suggest some little things. I saw this one tweet that was like, you just go just playing a song for, like, 30 people. They're giving them takes. You have no plan to change the song at all.
Right.
Right. But have you ever, like, has there ever been a moment where you've played a song and not even a negative or a positive, but like you guys critiqued it and you feel like, okay, I can work on this. Maybe I will alter this part of the loop or whatever the fuck. Like, has there ever been a moment where you went back into the studio and changed something off of feedback?
For me, anytime I ever got like it was something I was already going to change, so I'm just like,
cool. I'm glad you also picked up.
Reaffirming.
I feel like I really just take all suggestions with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? It's like every suggestion that comes, I'll like actually think it through and be like, how would it be if that was the case? And then sometimes it'll be better than what I had originally planned. So to me, I'm super open to like, and like I usually look for, especially when I'm putting together any type of music, like I look for people's opinions just because like more perspectives is, you just don't know what you don't know. So it's like somebody looking at it from this perspective might, you know, open your eyes to something that you wouldn't have seen, and like, or a sound that you wouldn't have heard, you know what I'm saying? Or a feeling you wouldn't have accessed otherwise, but that might still really make sense with what you're trying to do. So
but
or like might be what you was trying to do all along, but just didn't know how to get there.
Right. And like, just to like to piggyback off that question, did y'all ever have like a moment where, it doesn't matter if like you were just having a bad day or whatever, but you went with something and you like, did y'all ever have that energy or that feeling of like, who the fuck are y'all? Like, you know, to like, who are y'all to be like telling me something type shit? Because y'all, like, everybody was kind of like, whoever was in the same boat. Like, did y'all ever have that feeling going into like certain like classes or anything of the sort?
I have one very specific.
Good. I love a story.
In our songwriting class with Dave Tozer, we had like pop songwriting, right? And I remember he had told me, like, I made this song and I was saying nigga every other like line, right? And this white man, he's like, yeah man, you know, good song, this is that, but you know, I think you could lighten up on like the use of the N-word a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. So it's like, to me, it's like, who are you?
Literally to like tell me that word.
Like, I mean, Dave Tozer has a good reputation, or like, you know, his producer
Crazy
Kanye
credits,
credits is crazy, you know, and I do actually really respect his work. As a person, he's kind of a weirdo, which is just another story. But
It's be weird for me.
but like not like weirdo in like the Yeah.
Word.
Might have to bleep. Yeah. Anyway. Bleep out some. Anyway, but respect this man's work, right? But yeah, who are you to like tell me I can't say as a white man?
Yeah.
Tell me I can't say nigga in my song. Even though, granted, you know, I was listening again. You know, I was saying quite a bit. I could have had a little more imagination, but like at the same time, it's like, bro, that's just not your place.
Place to tell me that. Yeah.
I feel pretty similar. I had also a songwriting teacher. I'd be like, maybe don't curse so much, or you don't do this, or like, you know, like to switch up this and this. And it's like, yo, I'm making music for like a mosh pit, not for a pub. Yeah. Like, I don't fucking care. Like,
it's like I don't. Your experience does not relate to mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like certain things like that. Like, and honestly, like, cause I put my foot in I try to wear their shoes. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard to like give suggestions or like anything like that to you know a bunch of creative kids that like think like us, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's so I to an extent like, you know, I understand certain confusion or like certain mistakes that will inevitably be made you know in that field, because you know it's a creative field, so it's not, the rules are very, people don't know the rules, you know what I'm saying? So
plus, I think the fact that a lot of them are so much older. Kind of as one teacher in particular, he was just like, I was trying to talk about like rap in like the 90s and shit, and it's like, I was like, oh, you need to get back to this, and it's like, yo, bro, like we're going forward, and you really you have this music, go listen to that, bro.
It's a whole generational gap, and keep in mind these are white men too.
That's really.
I feel like that will mix it.
Yeah, their experience with like hip hop especially is very different on it by itself, and it's like, I don't care. Listen to the Beastie Boys right now. Like, the Beatles got a couple of joints. I'm not. The Beatles got a couple
of joints.
Can we talk about how we spent literally a whole? So we had a production class that was 6 hours, like once a week.
Sheesh.
Bro, we spent.
Wait, it was a 6-hour course.
Bro,
6 hours.
Like from 9 to 3.
We had
like
a lunch
30-minute break or some shit.
That's a work shift. That's a work shift. That's crazy. I'm paying niggas. Wow, that's crazy.
But tell me why we spent a whole 6-hour class one time listening to the Beatles, bro.
Bro, I would have been tight. Bro,
you know I was in the back of the class.
Yeah, like you tired. You was tired.
I'm saying, like,
just listening too. Like,
so break it down. Like, I feel like everyone's like, oh yeah, the Beatles, but why do people love? Like, what were they trying to teach you with that day in class?
It's like they were like super experimental in the way they approached like recording and writing. Like they kind of like really started multi-track.
They were the first to do a lot of things. Yeah. Like, it wasn't necessarily about I mean, they were good songwriters, I guess, but it wasn't. I think it was more so about like their technological advancements and like their being the first to do a lot of like things that we consider regular, like stereo radio.
Right.
Like, you know, people wasn't really doing much stereo back then. So,
and it's like, while all that is like, I feel like it is important to know. It's just like there's mad also like black artists that did crazy shit. Like I feel we didn't really talk about Prince recording all this shit himself. We didn't talk about.
Not to mention that the Beatles' whole entire like music is black music. You know, it's like blues music that they was playing. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it like wasn't as much focus on like music in terms of blackness as like, especially when like all pop music, it does like derive from black people. So it's just really weird. It's like,
yo, Beatles K, bro.
Beatles K, bro. Like,
but they were the first to like also make like the modern concept of like the music video, like with stories and stuff like that. Like people back then, the music videos people was doing was just like, you know, playing the.
Oh yeah, just playing a fucking.
Like a live performance.
No, they were innovative.
They cool. Like I fuck with them like for 6 hours.
Well, for 6 hours, that's beastie. Like,
and like every year, some new shit you have to sit down and learn about these niggas, bro.
Right.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But with that, so we talked about, you know, just overall how the NYU culture like influenced your music. What would you say, like, in terms of artists like you grew up listening to, did anybody really influence like the sound you're going for now, or like artists that are out now that are now influencing the sound you're going towards in general?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I grew up in my most formative years listening to like trap music, like,
Florida trap? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Where in Florida, like?
So I'm from Tampa Bay. I'm
Okay.
from Fishhawk, a suburb of Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? And in Florida, like Kodak Black is king. You know, like he's not the best dude. You know,
I get he's not the best dude,
Nope.
but you know.
Yeah. But that man is like, he's a cultural icon in Florida, and people worship. So I grew up on a lot of him. You know what I'm saying? And as fucked up as he is a great songwriter. Migos, you know what I'm saying? Future is a huge influence on just melodically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's interesting getting it's like I feel like I would like I guess we'll talk about it later, but I feel like I would but I feel like I thought I would hear different
I
artists.
thought I was gonna hear something completely different.
Yeah, that's so
I didn't know
funny.
you were from Florida till I walked in here.
Like,
That's first and foremost. So I was like, so I didn't even know, like, but like it makes sense. Most of the people I know that grew up in the South. Well, let me ask this question first. What's your ethnicity?
I'm Caribbean. I'm Jamaican, and my mom's from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands.
Okay, word. Most people I know that are like from like most places in the South are one American Black. So a lot of the things I hear is like, oh, I grew up on like the Temptations and like the Isley Brothers. I grew up with like a lot of like old school like, and I was just like, word.
So I mean,
so like
in the house, like my parents was playing calypso, you know what I'm saying, soca, reggae, you know what I'm saying, like all the classic stuff. But my dad, honestly, he has a super wide range of like music taste, like. Like, honestly, his favorite artist is Bob Dylan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get that full circle moment.
Yeah. And he, like, honestly, I feel like his, like, willingness to, like, explore just a bunch of different genres and stuff definitely made me that way, you know. I feel like prior to all the trap stuff, because, you know, trap was, like, came later in our lifetime,
Right.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy to think about. But before that, like, you know, Kendrick, Cole, Drake, I'm a huge Drake stan, you know, like now definitely more like since college I feel like I got put onto like neo soul and stuff like that, which is, and I've always loved jazz and jazz piano. I play piano and stuff like that, so I've always like loved that and just loved like, you know, musical aesthetics, or just, you know, real nice chords and like nice rhythms and stuff like that. But like Erykah Badu and like D'Angelo and Jay Dilla and like all the Tribe Called Quest and all them, like I love all. I feel like they definitely shaped my newer style for sure.
English.
Right. It's where my mom, she doesn't have like the large musical range at all. It was just like she doesn't like calypso. Like,
really?
Nah, yeah, she doesn't at all. And like a little bit of soca, but it's like mainly just be like reggae and like Celine Dion.
Yo, I'm about to say, I know your mom like Celine Dion.
Wow.
I know she likes some Celine Dion.
Wow.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. So I feel
I
like
feel like I just learned a whole new layer of your mom.
So I feel like I really like discovered like kind of music on my own. So I just like Kanye, also Future, The Weeknd, Lil Wayne. I like a lot of like Paramore, 9 Inch Nails, Fall Out Boy. So kind of just like a lot of like hip hop, rock, and R&B shit I listened to growing up, and then it never really changed. Even through college, in college I'd say more like electronic music I got into is like the Marshmello, Dead Mouse, 100 Gex, stuff like that. And I just feel like I'm just trying to like find a way to synthesize all that into like one little strain. But yeah, it never changed too much, honestly.
No, yeah, like I feel like with my like history of knowing you, like I feel like I've always known you to listen to a lot of like different things in general, like to already have a range. But mainly like when I spoke to you, I feel like we spoke about hip hop and rock, like, you know. And I feel like so it makes sense. Like now, I feel like listening to the music that you put out now, I can see a lot of that influence in there. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, that's dope.
No, I can definitely hear the influence in you really well. Honestly, it's interesting to hear like those influences, but like from your latest drop, Miss 305, like, you know, it's more like an R&B tip. Were you like, do you want to go more that R&B lane, or were you even like a big like R&B head? Because you can mention it.
The most music played in my house was definitely R&B.
Oh,
like,
R&B.
I give my sister, like, she's just like a huge like.
You forgetting?
Like a huge Chris Brown fan, like Mariah Carey, like all that shit. And like today, I mean, like love Brent Faiyaz, Summer Walker, Party Next Door, also Drake. So it's like the R&B shit is always something like in the bag. It's just something I just felt like doing at the time, really.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that's always the weirdest thing. Like sometimes I might feel like making a rap record, it might feel like R&B, might feel like rock. I just like do what I feel at that moment, I guess, and just trying to find a way to make it all like cohesive, I guess.
Go in the full organization.
Yeah.
So with that, like y'all both have recently dropped. I know you dropped a full project. You dropped Mysterio 5, and then you dropped Ask For prior. And so like with that, I know y'all both recently had performances, like on your own. It was funny that they kind of like they were like very close. Yeah, they were like pretty much around the same time. So. Sorry. So with that, how did those performances, one, come about, and then how did y'all feel like physically performing on music? Is this the first time y'all have performed since COVID? Like just the details around those performances.
I love this ping pong y'all.
Yeah, I
know. So the last performance I did was at Bushwick Public House.
Public House, interesting place.
Yeah, very like
Bushwick in general,
right?
It's an interesting spot.
It's a weird vibe over there for sure. But I like how it looks down there. So, it's like a basement, low ceiling, like garage type feel. But yeah, I had for the first time in like 2 years, I had a full band perform with me.
That's fire.
And I just. I'm a musician, so like linking with other really good musicians, like shout out my band, Aeneas, Keiko, Jordan, bro, Akari, fire producer, all of them real fire musicians. Like it was just real fun tapping in. I just asked them. I was like, as a matter of fact, Keiko and Jordan, we had been working on some other stuff. Just we had kind of like formed this pseudo band before that, right? We were just cooking up like every week over the summer for a little while, and we just had a natural like chemistry.
Yeah,
so.
and I can feel because I was there live for that show, and you can genuinely like feel how much you guys like practiced, and like everything was just super like clean, on point. The drumming.
Aeneas killed.
Yo, it was like,
bro, that man. Shout out Aeneas, bro. Baby Ali Sparks, bro. On Instagram, that man is insane. But yeah, we practiced 3 times for that show, like all that week, which is crazy, bro. I hate the organization around. Like just literally getting 4 people together in the same room 3 times in a week. It's like a nightmare. So I was really stressing about that, but I ended up being pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed myself, and like I was playing keys, and it's it's definitely interesting because most of my music that I was performing is from music that I sampled. So like it was interesting like taking the sampled music and like actually learning how it goes like in chords and like so it was just kind of flexing a different muscle like that I wasn't used to using, and just like relearning my song essentially. Like it was kind of cool.
I like that. How was SOBs?
So for that SOBs like last week, it was calm. Like basically just a promoter hit me up to open for Santa. Shout out her for
and what could have been.
It could have been. I was just gonna say like
it was crazy. I'm like most of the songs I've never performed before, like period. So I was kind of just like really drilling the shits in my head like throughout like the whole week leading up. And then like the night before, he's like, "Oh, she got COVID, so she not coming." And I'm like, "Yo,
that's crazy." Yeah, when y'all told me when I found out, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "That's stressful."
It's insane. And then like pulling up to the spot, like you were there. Like my sound check was like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm gone. I have no idea what the fuck anything about to sound like.
And how important is that to know, like, what does that sound like here? Because I feel like from the audience, you don't get that perspective or understanding. At least I never did. But as people performing, like, how important is like the audio check and things like that?
For me, cause I'm like super particular about how shit sounds. So it's like, if I don't know, like, is this song too loud? My vocal's too high? Do I need more reverb? Like, none of that shit beforehand. I'm like,
You're going in
I'm
blind.
like giving you a box. I don't know what the fuck is in it. Like,
Type shit, yeah.
And it's like hella nerve wracking. Like, you're already nervous for like 100 other reasons. And like, this is the last thing you need to like.
For real, like a good sound guy will bless you.
Will change your life. Bro.
Change your life, because like, like what he said, you know what I'm saying. It's just not worrying about. It's just one less thing to worry about, and you know, unfortunately, I had a similar thing at my show. The sound guy was not.
Speaker was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was.
Niggas telling jokes.
Telling jokes real crazy.
Had to come fix the amp and stuff. We ain't getting no sound check neither too, cause for a variety of reasons. So, but you know, all that stuff comes like, you know, you live and you learn with all this stuff. Like, just comes with practice, and then you just know better for the next time. You know, so.
And I feel like honestly getting like a dedicated like show or tour sound engineer, like
got
really
to
what the wave is.
Got to, bro.
Cause I should see like everybody. You can't eat everybody.
Bro,
food.
like
You can't.
I was thinking after, I was like, yo, I'm a better sound guy than this guy. I could have done this myself for real. Like this, it is what it is though, you know. So, but shout out to them for hitting me. Like my friend Zay actually put me on to kind of make the connection between me.
Yeah,
and Zay Lewis, man. Shout out, good artist.
Yeah, I was talking to Maddie there, the one who's like running the whole thing, and she was really fucking with you. Hopefully, y'all might see.
She hit me up for another show.
Yeah, we might see a show with both of y'all in the lineup. So that would be crazy.
We've done that a couple times already too. So those have always been fun. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's history.
So, speaking on like, you know, the music that y'all perform, so you just dropped your project. Okay, so you tell me how it's supposed to be said.
It's called Lost and Found and Lost and Found.
Okay, just because I saw it like that, but I was like, so I see he did the reverse at the end, and I'm like, so how does he want it said?
So it's funky.
At first I looked and I was like, wait, and then I was like, oh, it's reversed. Okay. Go ahead.
You know, it's like you is still you in the mirror. So you're not like the opposite you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's
yeah.
It's like Lost and Found and Lost and Found. But it's just a self-reflection. You feel me?
How did like overall, what was the creative process like in making that? And like I'm also very intrigued in the fact that like there's no spaces in the titles. Like everything is like one word, and I was very interested as to why you chose to do that.
Yeah, I mean that specifically, like, so Lost and Found and Lost and Found. It's like, I mean, it's basically just like, you know, early 20s. I have no idea what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making mistakes. Like, I'm trying to fix them. It's like sometimes I feel like I have like the world is about to end. You feel me? But then sometimes I feel like more pockets and moments of just like yo, like I'm on the right path. Like confirmations that, like, you know, make me feel like you know, found. You know, getting to the place. So, and like I feel like what I wanted to signify with the no spaces, like in all the titles, is just like the confusion and like how everything kind of just really runs together. You don't know what is what. You know what I'm saying? Like lost and found and lost and found. Like it's not even once. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a repeating process. Like you don't necessarily know when the lost part is coming, when the found part is coming. But like, you know, it comes, and it's just you know, I wanted to show just like the running thought, you know what I'm saying, the confusion that comes with that.
No, great project, honestly. Yeah. I love a project that I can listen to and like I ended up at the end of the project and it restarted, and I didn't even fully realize it, because like, but it wasn't that experience where you're listening to a project and it all sounds like the same song. It was more so that experience of like, I was listening to it and everything just kind of very much blended very well into one another, that by the time it looped back around, I was like, oh shit, I listened to all 13 already. And so that was like great. I thoroughly enjoyed that project.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No, of course.
Definitely has the transition like blend through. I feel like a lot of albums do this thing where like they start on a really high intense note and they fade kind of either into like an outro that's either very somber or just a lot more chill, but I feel like you did the absolute reverse. And we come in with Summertime and it's super like vibey. I feel like this is like the perfect like wake up and start cleaning your crib to music, you know what I'm saying? Light a blunt, insane. Like it dropped on a Sunday, so I feel like it fell in that like, that same vibe and aesthetic, like definitely was already in that mood. Because it just dropped on Friday, I was like, I feel this, I'm also about to go out. Sunday was definitely like, I want to be home. Like I really want to ground myself in this project. And then Sunrise song, like so quick, so beautiful, like it's so like fast paced, and it's just like I wouldn't expect it from an outro, but I really love that you did that.
Thank you, man. Honestly, shout out Gabriel Ancira, bro, because that man
go, bro.
Artist co-student, what you call it? Classmate.
There we go. Co-student got it. Co-student got it. Because I was looking for like co-founder, co-something. I just heard co-student.
Co-student, co-peer.
Former classmate of mine. He helped me order the album actually, because I had all these songs, or at least the ideas for all of them out, and I was like, I know all these songs are connected, like they make so much sense to me, like I just like, because sometimes, like I was saying earlier, it's like you look at yourself and you only see, like when you look in a mirror, you've never seen your actual face, you know what I'm saying, like you've only seen it in pictures or whatever, like so when you look in a mirror, like you don't even know what, all I'm saying is like another person's perspective, like looking at you, can really clear up a lot of things that you didn't necessarily realize about yourself. And that's how I felt when he helped me order the album. So like, I presented him all these songs, I played them for him. He literally sat there on his phone, ordered this shit in this order, like, and told me exactly why everyone needed to go
where it was,
that way. And I was like, yo. And honestly, a lot of the things he's like, I noticed even more like similarities between like the songs that were next to each other and stuff like that he didn't even like maybe not realize or mention, like even after all that. So it kind of even made more sense, especially as I was like making the ends and the beginnings of the songs transition, because I really wanted to do that, you know what I'm saying? I really just wanted it to go straight through and just just kind of be, not necessarily tell a song from another song, or just like kind of be one, ride, you know what I'm saying? But as I was making those transitions, I just like realized even more how well the songs kind of lined up together in that particular order. So I appreciate Gabriel Ancira for helping me do that for sure, man.
Oh, sorry.
Do you working with Gabriel? How do you?
No, we're just all like good friends, but it's just very him. Like Gabriel can like, I feel like he like sees spirit too.
He's a curator. Like I feel like if he had like one of his best talents is his curation skills, which is I feel like a talent I don't. Bro, my shit is called Lost and Found. Like I literally like I don't understand myself a lot of times. So it's like when someone can just shine a light on you and be like, yo, like, I feel like this is what you think. I'm like, maybe that is what I'm thinking.
Right.
It's like, it's just kind of, like, other people's perspectives really put things in perspectives for me as well, so.
Or no, I like that. Definitely, like, huge shout out on that project. Great project to listen to. Definitely recommend everybody who listens to this podcast to listen to that project for sure. Great project.
And Miss 305.
No, yeah, and with that,
come on
now tapping into Malik. So you just did Miss 305. I really want to know like what went into making that, and you did visualizer for it. Y'all dropped the video, right?
Yeah.
Yep, the video for it, and like just everything that went into that song, that process, and like next steps as to what you want to do.
Yeah. So for me, like I don't ever consciously like write songs. Like I don't sit down like I'm gonna write a song about this. I just like beat is made and I just kind of start like mumbling shit till something comes out. I feel like with that song, just like I was experiencing just a lot of like I wouldn't say love life issues, but just kind of like girls I probably was like involved in, but I just wasn't like involved to where they needed me to be. I would say, I guess, or like I wasn't as invested as like they would like, and I felt like I probably would never be. So it's kind of like
that's your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm just really bad at like focusing, honestly. So that was kind of just like what that song was about. Like, yo, I'm not gonna be like here forever, but while I'm here right now, like enjoy the present. And yeah, I wrote it like super fast. It was crazy because like afterwards I didn't even like think nothing of it. Like I wasn't even gonna drop it, and like I played it for Amari, and he was just like, "Yo, this is hard."
I love that song.
Like,
Yeah, no, I love that
That
song.
song is crazy.
And then to put it out. Then we shot the visualizer for Jonathan George. Go
Yes.
across the board.
That dancer you had?
Yeah, Imani Arnett.
Very beautiful.
Also amazing. Xandri making the costume for her, like
Expensive brands only.
Everybody snapped.
yeah, it was honestly great. Everything just really came together. It's like, it's always weird, like, you ask people to do things, I'm like, I don't know if y'all gonna fuck with this. And then, like, this shit just happened, like, all in, like, 1 week, and everyone's just, like, really on it. Shout out Nina as well.
Shout out Nina, Cover Girl.
Cover Girl, video, trailers, like,
Right.
everything just went crazy. And then it was just, like, really well received, I guess, like, they would just be, like, playing it in their car, like, it's like on their sex playlist, and they're telling me that. Y'all better go.
Yo, no, definitely. I feel like from the minute like you sent it to me, I feel like I was in an emotional love life crisis, and I felt like I was in an Uber. You sent it to me, and I was just like on my way to see the person, and I was in the crisis. So I'm just like, this is too much. Bro. Like it really like it taps something. Like, bro, this is it. Like I love songs that definitely like music is so beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Like, from one perspective, thousands, countless of people can feel something and allow themselves to imprint onto your music. And it's just like how can that even be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's only so many human emotions, I guess. But Mr. 305 was definitely one of those, like, songs, the vibe, just the overall, like, from sonically, how it made you feel, and then, you know, don't forget what nigga someone said on Instagram this was a toxic nigga anthem.
Somebody from like Paris hit me up like, yo, I heard your song, like, yo, like, I love this.
It should be so weird. Cause I was like, how the fuck did you like?
You really lit,
type shit. I think reception is always like a head crack for artists.
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially like artists who are like up and coming. You know, because when you're like there, quote unquote, like reception is still kind of weird, but I feel like the reception is so expanded that you can't even focus on it all. But I feel like as an up and coming artist, like the reception is usually communicated to you, you know, a lot of times. So I feel like it's always weird when, like, you know, you have some people who are like, oh, I love listening to Mr. 305 like as a wake and bake song. Like I really like waking up, rolling up, smoking, listening to it. And then it's like, but then you also have the reception of like, wait, that shit's on my sex playlist, you know? So it's like, I think reception is always so interesting for artists because it's like, I don't know, it always varies from like person to person. Like I remember, I think when I dropped Clover, I think you texted me and you were like, I really love this like 3-pack because it feels like I'm bringing my homie with me wherever I go, and like I'm bringing your stories with me, and I was like, that's real sweet, you know. And then like, and then another person had hit me up after and was like, yo, I really like this because I feel like I can visualize every single thing you're talking about, and I was like, word, that's dope, because like I didn't know that, and it's like I get tired of my music very quickly. Like, are y'all the same way? Like,
it's like I see that kind of way how to say it.
like I drop something, and by the time I dropped it, I'm already tired of it because I've been like and working on it. Yeah, you know, it's old to me, is dead ass new to y'all. Like, yeah, no, for real.
And it's crazy, like with that, like right now, because like a lot of people like hitting me up, like, oh, like you like performed the song for this, you like institute your performance for this, and it's like, yo, like I'm so over this, low key
type shit. Like, I'm already over the track. Like, yeah,
still doing this over and over again, but it's like with the reception shit, because like, I'm the type, when I put something out, I turn my phone off. Like, I don't care if people like it or don't. I can't deal with taking that reception immediately, and then it's like to go through it and like people are like giving you their opinions and shit, and you're just like, are you right? Like, for real? We shoot in the gym. Like, are you capping?
And it's funny. I feel like it's funny. Like from my personal perspective as an artist, like. I think I also like take reception and critique differently because I didn't have like that music school experience of like you have to play shit you're making whether you're gonna drop it or not, but you have to play shit you're making and people are like critiquing you on it, because like on my end like I'll do it and like when certain people hit me up with opinions or critiques, I'm always like, that's why I very heavily hold on like unfortunately to that whole thing of like who the fuck are you to tell me, like especially when it's like negative critique, because I'm just like, bro, where is your background? Like, where's the like experience? Like, where's the resume, bro? Like, what you got to back that? And it's usually people that like are not in a creative realm or like are in a creative realm that's so like that's not in music or production or anything of the sort. So I'll just be like, I mean, thanks, but to me, you're kind of just a regular individual like giving me critique. And I don't know. I'm bad at like. I don't like negative critique, especially being from the city. I feel like from the city, like
you guys are ready to fight.
No, for real, bro. Like especially like exactly. Like I feel like from the like when you're from the city and you're getting critique, like it's really about how it's communicated to you, because like and you like gotta learn that moving through like the industry of like certain people are dead ass just assholes in how they speak, and it's like you kind of like some things you gotta eat, but like I also like I think. There's a really big difference between like constructive criticism and then just like niggas just talking like to talk to, like, and I feel like that's been a big thing of like navigating overall. But
you said something interesting. I have like a question for y'all actually.
Yo, what's up?
Do y'all value like creatives' opinions on your art more or like regular people's?
I mean, I value it more. I wouldn't say I value it more, but like they give me different feelings for sure. Like non-music people that critique or like praise my work or whatever, to me that's like, yo, like you actually fuck with this shit. Because like people don't just like I feel like regular people don't have like a lot of tolerance or patience for things they don't like, or I feel like music they don't like or anything, stuff like that. So when especially someone they'd be the ones that go out their way and be like, yo man, I was listening to this, and they tell you a little story about like what
for real, it really be like that
about what was going on with them when they was listening to it. It's like, to me that just hits in like such a specific way that like I really love, but then at the same time when a creative that I like respect and admire, you know what I'm saying, it's like, yo, your shit like is fire. At first, like honestly, my first like instinct is to like not believe them. It's like, because like especially as like other creatives that my first instinct is to be like, yo, like you just like, oh you gas me, you encouraging me, you're just trying to be a good dude or whatever. But like that to me like also hits in a really like powerful way, just because it's like, yo, like wow, this person like took their time out their day. This person that I like all their shit, they took their time out their day to like let me know what's up, or even if it's a like negative or neutral criticism, just the comments, like wow, like their opinions definitely matter more to me, I feel like, than like just what they have to say about it, because they have a some sort of background, and like just like they're able to talk about these, because honestly like a lot of regular, it's kind of but a lot of people that don't do music, it's hard for them to talk about like what they like about music
and what they don't
like they just know they either like it or they don't, and it's like there's a certain level of innocence to that, and that is like really valuable. But then there's like people that do know what they're talking about, like they have a lot more to add to me, to like as far as like inspiring me, or like what, maybe not more inspiring, but just like as what specific things that like I want to know, or like
I feel like for me, I agree with a lot of what you said. I feel like for me, the like opinion of creatives matters more during my creative process, and I reach out for opinions from like my creative people more so like while I'm doing my shit, because it's like 100%. You know, like if, for example, when I get like my shit mixed with my homie Siaka, shout out Siaka, like sometimes I'll send things to him and he'll be like, and he'll respond, like, I won't even ask for the critique. I'll just be like, yo, bro, this is shit. Like, and I already know he's gonna give it to me. So then, like, I really respect him, and he'll respond and be like, yo, I really like that you, like, did this kind of vocal in this part, or, like, this part. And I'm like, oh, word, I appreciate that. And it's like, you know, like, same thing with you. Like, if I was to send you something, like, as somebody who produces and, like, makes your own music, like, I hold your opinion in such a high regard because you actively do the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, middle of creative process, I feel like I actively reach out to, like, creative people in my circles to get their opinions, because I'm like, one, I'm a person that's plagued by self-doubt a lot, unfortunately, you know, and it's like, it is what it is. But other than that, it's like, it's this overall thing of like, you said it earlier, you don't know what you don't know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like reaching out to people who, in my eyes, might have more experience than me doing something. Or even if they don't have more experience, like, you make something completely different. Like, the music I make and the music you make are two completely different, like, realms of, like, hip-hop or, like, of, like, music in general. But it's, like, as an overall person who I know appreciates music, like, you can still have a critique on the stuff I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think I actively reach out, like, during my process to creative people, even people who don't necessarily make music but are creatives. Like, I've reached out to, like, Omari about, like, opinions on music, and just because Omari's simply, like, a creative person. Or, like, I reached out to, like, photographers and videographers, because that was my one of my videographer friends. He's the one who told me, like, Clover makes me feel like I'm, like, visualizing everything. So I was like, that's dope to hear, because you're a person who, like, cinematically makes people's visions come to life. So it's dope that you're visualizing my shit, like, when I haven't even done that yet. You know what I'm saying? So, no, but that's a great question. I like that question, really.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. Because I totally agree with you all the way. Like, during the process, I kind of only, like, share it with, like, other creatives, basically. Because, like, when I'm making some shit, even from the beginning, I can see, like, what it'll be, like, in completion. But if I share that with someone that, like, doesn't really do music, they're just like, well, like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's dope, like, cool, like,
yet, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
no, like, yeah, I remember when you had dropped Miss 305, you sent it to me, like, the track, when it was, like, officially on streaming, and I responded to you, I was like, oh, I'm really glad you changed the font, and you were like, did I send this to you? And I was like, no, you sent it to Omari, and I was with Omari. So it was funny, because as soon as he got it, he showed it to me, he was like, what do you think of this? And I was like, I love this cover, I don't like the font, or, like, where it was, or, like, the actual type of font. And like, that was just a great moment overall, because it was, like, he was like, no, yeah, I agree with you. So it was, like, a beautiful moment of, like, you got a second opinion, and then he got his second opinion, you know, like, and I think it's dope. I think creators always look for a second opinion overall, especially because, like, I feel like everybody got that little, even if it's not a hint of self-doubt, I feel like everybody got that thing of, like, I can't see the full picture because it's my shit, or because I'm actively working on it or actively listening to it. Same thing with, like, getting tired of your music. Like, people hear it for the first time, they're like, oh my god, like, you know? And it's like, to you, you're like, bro, I've been working on this shit for, like, weeks now, like, you know? Especially when you, like, produce your own shit, or, like, mix your own shit, or you're actively in the studio with the people who are mixing and producing your shit. You're sitting there on, like, literally from the start, from scratch, to the completion, no matter how long that process takes. And then it's even worse when you're like, all right, now I gotta sit on this and wait to drop it. Because then you're just like, by that time, you're like, the song was made 3 months ago. Or something. You're like, I'm done. Like, that shit is whack, bro. Like, I felt that. Like,
I'm taking this off the project.
Like, bro, I remember I dropped my first 3-pack. I dropped Traffic, whatever. Literally, I had been working on Traffic for weeks. I think, like, in total, it ended up being like 2 months. So by the time I dropped it, I was just kind of sitting there like, I fucking hate this shit. Like, I was not even, I hate it, but I was like, over this. Like, I remember I sent, like, my unreleased to a couple people. So when I dropped the full project, like, a lot of people were hitting me up like, yo, this freestyle's dope, this. And I was like, bro, like, this don't even feel like my bars no more, bro. Like, at this point, like, it don't even really feel like that.
Yo, it honestly takes a village, y'all.
It does. And I feel like one of the most gratifying parts, like what you were saying earlier, is like when, especially your creative friends that were there with you in the process, like, they listen to the final thing and then they got something new to say about the final thing. They're like, yo, like, I love what you did with this. Like, I love how it evolved from this to this. Like, I love I love this choice you made that like was different in the last version.
The original, right?
Like that type of stuff is like also I feel like gives me a similar feeling to like, you know, when the non-music people reach out and it's like, yo, like, you know, this is cool, man.
Yeah, this is so dope, like.
So it's like because it's just like it's like when you can watch someone grow. And when like someone can like tell you like, oh, like I'm proud of you for watching you grow, like
that shit is like
it's like so
that shit hits hard, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sweet. I'm sorry, we're in a nice heartwarming note, but we're reaching our favorite part of the show.
Facts. As we approach the end, we always wrap up with a lingo talk with the lingo. So Malik, you're from Brooklyn. You're from Florida.
yeah.
So overall, we just want to ask, what's your favorite like slang term that you grew up with from where you're from? Like, I know we spoke about this on the reunion episode. You gotta pick something different. So you can't pick Claffy again. Claffy was great, top tier, and you reminded me, and I've been using it ever since, like all over again. But yeah, definitely just like one of your favorite slang terms from like where you grew up, or something that even if like you didn't use it and you just heard it, like whether it's an old head slang term, that's fine. But like we just always love to do this because
nice. What did he saying down there in Tampa?
Yeah, bro. I mean, everybody. I love they be saying, Jit told me this.
Jit, I was just gonna say, Jit was like the first thing in my head. I'm not gonna lie.
That shit like. That shit makes you feel like loved. What else? I really like bro, I love how Southern niggas like, I'm not like American black, so I feel like I didn't grow up with the same, like I grew up around all that slang, but I didn't really speak with the same slang, or just not as much, you know, there's a lot of the people around me, but I love how, people be talking about they going straight to the malls, like, man.
Teaser case.
Oh, no, also it's like, oh, you flaw. I like that one too. It's like,
I've never heard that.
It's like, basically if, you did something, it's like, man, that nigga flaw, bro. Like, you flaw for that, bro. It's like when you wrong for something, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you flaw, man. It's like,
I like that. That's new. Yeah.
It's hard.
Let's see, what else? They be talking funny, bro, back home, man. I love it, man. They say breast too, like, what's up, breast? Like, I don't do
breast?
Breast, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, I never heard that.
No, that shit.
Yeah, I'm learning so much right now.
It's like bruh, but like with an S. It's like BRUS.
Breast.
Breast. Yeah, come
Wow.
on, breast.
Yeah.
That's new. I like that. Come on, Brooklyn.
Right now, I feel they just like lost me. Like these niggas.
Yeah.
You losing me, bro. You losing me is great, actually.
It's funny, bro.
I generally be confused when people talking sometimes.
Like, bro, you lost me. You lost me or you losing me? Nah, yeah. That's great. I like that. Wow. I don't remember what ours ever were. I don't know if me and you ever did one like solo dolo, like, because we like everything, bro. Yeah, like I am a sponge, so I absorb everything, bro. Like half of my slang like became Caribbean once I started high school, and I was like, nope, I'm not Caribbean, but everybody around me is, and that's what it became too. No, yeah, fun times.
Yo, thank you guys so much for coming to sit down and talking to us, man. Like,
man. Thanks for having us.
Times.
Greatest crossover since Jimmy Neutron Timmy Turner.
Timmy
Come on! I love that pickup.
Make another podcast on that.
But with that being said, y'all, it's your homie ATM.
And it's your boy O.
And it's your boy Malik.
Yeah.
And it's your boy Johnny. And we are Lingo. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay up. Be easy.
Peace.
Peace.